Did you know that nearly 1 in 4 cars on the road today have suspension problems? That means right now, as you're watching this, thousands of vehicles are driving with worn-out shocks, broken control arms, or rusted struts, without the drivers even realizing it. And here's the worst part. A failing suspension doesn't just mean a rough ride. It means less control over your car, longer braking distances, and a higher risk of accidents. Think about it. What if your car's suspension gives out when you're on the highway at 70 miles per hour? That's not just expensive, it's dangerous. But here's the good news. In this video, I'm going to show you simple but game-changing tips to keep your suspension in top shape for years, saving you thousands of dollars in repairs and keeping you safe on the road. Stick around till the end because I have a bonus tip that most mechanics won't tell you, but it can save your car from complete suspension failure. Let's get started. First up, let's talk about something almost no one does but should: checking and tightening your suspension bolts. Every time you drive over a pothole, a speed bump, or a rough road, the bolts that hold your suspension together take a hit. Over time, they loosen, creating tiny gaps that allow crucial components like control arms, struts, and shocks to shift out of place. The result? Premature wear, uneven stress, and a wobbly ride. The fix is simple. Grab a torque wrench, check your car manual, and tighten those bolts to the manufacturer's recommended specs. If you're not comfortable doing it yourself, ask your mechanic to check them during every service. A few minutes of tightening can save you thousands in future repairs. Next up, your suspension silent protectors. The rubber components. These include bushings, seals, and CV axle boots, and they play a crucial role in keeping your suspension parts cushioned and protected from dirt, heat, and wear. But here's the problem. Over time, these rubber parts dry out, crack, and break apart, leaving your suspension exposed to serious damage. If you've ever heard a creaking or clunking noise while turning or driving over bumps, chances are your rubber bushings are toast. The good news? You can prevent this by treating them with a rubber rejuvenator like AT205 Reseal or a similar polymer-based spray. Just spray it directly onto the rubber components a few times a year, and you'll keep them soft, flexible, and crack-free, saving your suspension from costly failures down the road. If you live anywhere with snow, rain, or high humidity, you must protect your suspension from rust. Metal parts like control arms, struts, and coil springs are constantly exposed to moisture and road salt. Once rust starts, it spreads fast, weakening the metal and causing components to snap unexpectedly. You don't want to be that person whose suspension collapses in the middle of the road, right? Here's what you do. Apply a rust-proofing spray like Fluid Film or WD-40 Specialist to your suspension's metal components every few months. It forms a protective barrier against moisture and salt, preventing rust before it starts. And trust me, this tiny habit can add years to your suspension's lifespan. This next one is so simple yet so overlooked. Rotating your tires. Most people think tire rotation is just about saving their tires. But here's the real reason it matters. Uneven tires destroy your suspension. When one tire wears out faster than the others, it throws off your car's balance, forcing shocks, struts, and control arms to work harder than they should. This leads to vibrations, poor alignment, and suspension failure. The fix? Rotate your tires every 5,000 to 7,500 miles. It keeps your car balanced, your ride smooth, and your suspension stress-free. Here's a pro tip that most people overlook: checking your car's ride height. Over time, your suspension springs weaken, struts sag, and bushings collapse, causing your car to sit lower than it should. This doesn't just ruin your handling, it puts extra stress on all suspension components, leading to a chain reaction of damage. The good news? It's super easy to check. Just measure the distance from your wheel hub to the fender and compare it to your car's factory specs. If it's sitting too low, your suspension is wearing out fast and you need to act before it's too late. Now that you know these powerful ways to extend your car's suspension life, it's time to put them into action. Which tip surprised you the most? Comment below. And if you want more expert car tips that save you money, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss out. Keep your car running smoothly and I'll see you in the next one.